Sir, the first episode of RADíO FLoMM is about to air in a few days. What do you think of it so far? It airs roughly this Tuesday. What did you think of it?
Waffles?
Previously on RADíO FLoMM.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this moment to announce that I will be retiring from this program in 2 weeks' time because of poor ratings.
Just like Archie Bunker.
There is no America. There is no democracy. There is only IBM and DuPont and Exxon. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone. I am not putting Howard back on the air.
It's not your show anymore, Max. It's mine. Are they yelling in Atlanta, Herb?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted?
I'm mad as hell! I'm not gonna take it anymore!
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1.
5 minutes past 12 midnight.
The radio is one of the outstanding developments of the 20th century.
Radio principles are also used in blind flying on a radio beam.
This pen is suspended by 2 rubber bands, one on the top and one on the bottom.
From Sacramento, the heart of California, and around the world, genuine modern radio. RADíO FLoMM.
This is a story not yet told. It begins on a warm evening some years hence, when high on a mountaintop in Southern California, a giant telescope searches the heavens for the secrets there contained.
This is the actual launch of the Mariner Mars probe from Cape Kennedy in November 1964. The craft was boosted up into a parking orbit by the Atlas Agena rocket. At precisely the right moment, the probe was inserted into trajectory and its 8-month voyage began. Gas jets for controlling the probe in space. That is, steering it, so to speak.
Sacramento ambiance.
I'd be like, yo, I'll totally blow that thing off the roof. I'd be like...
All right, so this is the used, broken, and thrashed unsolicited deck pick show that we are having at XL Smoke Shop in Midtown. That's 2830 East Street, you know what I mean? I always got to plug the venue because the venue hooked us up with a lot of inspiration. We kind of did this for the community. So the community is the audience. So 2 weeks from now, I'm probably gonna be trying to set up another show just like this. So we're doing a show where the art is mainly on skateboards and around kind of like the skate culture. I approached about 20 different artists to participate, and 17 solid people fucking, you know, actually put in some time and put in some work and have some art up. We're all kind of representing, and I know a few people actually hit me up as well. So it took me like a couple weeks of actual foot traffic, but I was lucky because there was consecutive shows going on in downtown where it was just this inspirational moment where I could just ask each artist, like this dude Thirdsman, this dude Mike Abides, and Lynn Tobin. They just did the show at Leave Your Mark, Sacramento, called the Trace Magas, and then like I got to ask them the week later at another show at Leave Your Mark. So I wanted to have like this mainstream idea of like just having art on skateboards, but I approached the right people at the right time. We're hungry, and then there's that dude Lynn right there just walking up. I'm glad to finally meet him. Apparently I met him before, but like I didn't know that his art was that sick, so I approached him. And right now we're actually doing like one of our first shows.
Hello.
This is for a podcast.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Say something spontaneous.
Oh, I can't. I don't even want to do that.
So anyways, but yeah, bro, thank you. So we have artists coming in and doing work. Arturo right behind us too. So me and him kind of had this idea of just doing something and...
Say something spontaneous.
Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo están todos? Bienvenidos al arte programa de skateboarding de usados skateboards.
And then we came up with a clever nickname called Unsolicited Deck Pics, and we kind of developed it from there. It was just like we just enjoyed what the name was and the fact that we were targeting an audience that would actually like find that kind of funny or kind of clever, even though it's kind of a washed up term, whatever. But it was the timing, so I approached a couple different businesses, got some donation skateboards, and just started slanging skateboards. So
you mentioned that this is all part of like the skateboarding culture and that kind of thing.
It's centered around it. Like we're inspired by it. Some of us are skaters. Me personally, I'm not, but I mean I've always been around that culture all my life.
So I mean, like, for somebody who doesn't really know about the skate culture,
yeah.
what would you describe that as? I mean, like right now,
I mean it's
so does like
it's kind of like a sport, like. It's kind of like sports, like it's just the way that you kind of like get around. Like what's a cyclist, what's a person who rides a bike, you know what I mean? Sometimes those kinds of like people have like really cool, you can do tricks or whatever the fuck, like, but it's all athleticism, so it's more like an athletic kind of a culture. And it's also centered around a good music and, you know, art culture as well, you know what I mean? So the surf culture, where it's derived from. So it's based off of a lot, but it's art, it's expression, it's creativity in a lot of different ways, you know what I mean? That's what tricks are about, you know what I mean? So I think whatever the fuck I'll ever make in California would always be aligned with the straight up skate culture, because that's California. So
like at this event right now, we got like hip hop music, we got like graffiti going, or not graffiti, but like spray paint art going on. You got all the decks that all have like a kind of a graffiti flair. So are all of the events coming up going to have this similar kind of vibe? You know,
of course, hopefully we want it to be kind of mixed, but we're not gonna like. We might want a theme, you know, one day, you know what I mean? We never know what we want to do and change, you know, and most of us probably won't even be here. I might not even be the person talking to you about it when it goes fucking huge, you know what I mean? It doesn't fucking matter, because it's all about the idea, but I'm holding on to all the, you know, what I want to hold on to. So it's okay, I'm going to try to have it as best as I can, but it's all of us, you know what I mean? But it's going to change, so I don't know, it might be like, you know, more gothy next time, goth skate culture in like fucking, you know, another city. You know, like, yeah. Like maybe a bunch of like kind of maybe we want to do like wood carvings instead of just, you know, acrylic on boards. You know, we want to be real specific. We might get a sponsor for fucking paint and glitter. We might fucking want to put glitter on the skateboards. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's inspiring, you know, people to create. And the same artist won't be here because maybe they're not inspired by the theme. Maybe the theme will change and the artist will change, and, you know, they'll come back whenever they want to come back. So it's an outlet.
Well, last question of the interview. How high are you right now?
I'm pretty fucking big, but like, you know, that's besides the point. You know, I medicated in the most legalist way possible, and it's you know, it's all good. So yeah, I'm pretty big. I had McDonald's earlier. I want it again right now. That's so bad, but it's cool. I don't eat fries anymore.
Music you can taste and color you can hear.
Man's first close look at the planet Mars. Blurred and indistinct may be, and an incredible scientific achievement.
The 11-month, 420-million-mile trip for the two Viking orbiter landers was set in motion by two launches.
There is no doubt at all that terrestrial life is not going to be the most advanced civilization, the most highest level of consciousness.
And now enjoy some Mars.
Radio FLoMM.
Challenging the bourgeoisie since 1923.
Dang it.
And now a word from FLoMMist, Ruby Roth, whose work can be found at drawordie.com.
If you are any kind of woman, you've been knowing guys like Kavanaugh since you were like 5 years old in kindergarten. They're the ones going, I didn't do anything. Meanwhile, they are either lying or they do not have the emotional intelligence to understand what kind of harm they cause. And they legitimately believe that they didn't do anything wrong. I'll tell you a little story. I was teaching art at an after-school program years ago, and there were these little kids. They were third graders. One was Justin, and he was always lying and freaking out and yelling. Really angry kid. I loved him. He was awesome, but he was always causing trouble. And one day he's fighting with the Colocho sisters, and he's going, you liars, she threw a paper airplane at me, which she had not, because I had been there the entire time. And one of them says, a tape recorder ain't gonna do anything, you need to have a camera. Now get away from me. I wish our senators had had as much sense as the Colocho sisters, but they showed that they did not, and I hope the Colocho girls are somewhere and that they run for office one day.
The best music, we play it all for you on Radio FLoMM.
Here is Of This Earth, the music project of FLoMMist Brian Mendez.
Radio FLoMM, an art movement's journey into a space, down the hall.
Toothpaste is just soap for your bones.
If you sometimes need a laxative, but don't want to get the laxative habit, take Carter's Little Liver Pills and follow the Carter's 3-week plan. Get Carter's Little Liver Pills.
There is no sound on the moon because it takes air to support it.
One of Chelsea Davis' recent projects is Moon, who released the Heart EP this past month. Here is Starfighter.
Radio FLoMM.
I'm clutching to my coffee with a pinch of salt.
I'm clutching to my coffee with a pinch of salt. I'm clutching to my coffee with a pinch of salt. Instead of dousing my coffee with sugars, coating, masking, pretending I'm not drinking coffee, I'm clutching to my coffee with a pinch of salt. I want to taste my coffee. I want to taste my coffee, and I'm clutching to this cup with my bare hands. I'm holding the yellow vessel, smelling coffee with a pinch of salt. It is not a dash. It is not a speck. It is a pinch of salt. This is how I want to taste the earth. I want to taste the earth with a pinch of salt. I want to feel the liquid travel over my tongue and down my throat and ride inside my gut. I am clutching to my coffee with a pinch of salt. I want to taste my coffee. My coffee. My coffee with a pinch of salt. I don't want to taste sugar. I don't want my coffee sugar coated. I want to taste my coffee with a pinch of salt. I want to taste the coffee inside the yellow vessel I am clutching with both hands because I want to taste my coffee with a pinch of salt. No sugar. Salt. 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 Salt in my coffee. Does it sound disgusting? Does it sound terrible? It is not. It is salt. Salt. Salts. And I want to taste my coffee with a pinch of salt. I need my coffee with a pinch of salt. Yes, I've tried sugar. I don't need my coffee with a pinch of sugar. I need my coffee with a pinch of salt. If I needed sugar, I'd drink my coffee with a pinch of sugar. And I need my coffee with a pinch of salt. Does my salt bother your sugar? They look the same, but they are different. I need to clutch to my yellow vessel filled with coffee and a pinch of salt. And the salt is only a pinch in my coffee. My coffee is mine, and I need my coffee with a pinch of salt. And if you ever asked me what was in my coffee, from the looks of it, you'd never know. Because you don't need to know that my coffee inside my yellow vessel contains a pinch of salt. You don't need to know that my coffee with a pinch of salt tastes different from your coffee with a pinch of sugar. It is coffee, and both cups exist independently of themselves and the millions of cups of coffee with a pinch of salt and pinches of sugar. And I need my coffee with a pinch of salt.
Odyssey, video game fun, computer keyboard challenge. More than 40 games in all. Odyssey, the excitement of a game, the mind of a computer. Odyssey.
Magnavox presents Odyssey, the electronic game of the future.
You are listening to Radio FLoMM.
They're about modern things.
Dang it.
RADíO FLoMM. Shit, why am I saying that in French?
Now within the bounds of the law.
Going places, going places, going places.
And now, the FLoMM Glitch interview. Today, Steve MEHALLO talks Learning to Zine with Garrett Compton Daniels, featuring a new track from Antwerp-based glitch group Llama Circuit.
So, okay, zines have taken over the world.
Yeah. So what's the question? So how did I get to that spot?
Yeah,
I guess. Okay. Well, we were myself and a lot of my peers spend a lot of time in places that foster and have a lot of those like cultures already showing their work. So like DIY zines being in the Bay or being in even kind of like Sacramento, Los Angeles, Portland, the big cities. Going to visit there, you can always find like funky little bookshops that promote more like DIY literature, and we sort of found that we didn't have that type of expression as heavy where we live, and we sort of wanted to drive that out of people. So we kind of put our heads together and started working with like another literary-based nonprofit organization and co-authored a set of grants through the California Arts Council and the Stockton Arts Commission, and we secured I think like $4,500 to be able to throw a series of workshops, one set being geared towards youth that are 10 to 17 years old, and the other being geared more toward adults 18 and over, to like facilitate those folks coming into the workshops, which were free, to be able to create their own content.
You've had several workshops so far.
Yeah, so we did like I said, this series of, we did 4 workshops Saturday for the youth, and then we did a Thursday night one because a lot of people that were adults we found either work during the day or have like alternative schedules that would have been like on the weekends. And so we did those on like Thursday nights. And that series of workshops finished up September 13th. And then, so now we're kind of like organizing to have like a little festival where these folks can show their works. But we've also kind of been collaborating with some of the organizers at the San Jose Zine Con Fest and also Sacramento Zine Fest, and have sent out invitations for people that want to come out to the Valley and show what they make and kind of share and talk with other people more on our local side.
It's pretty interesting. We've done a couple of our 423 events. Our events happen at University of the Pacific, and just about everything was donated. And the coolest part was we got people from the Bay Area to come out to Stockton. And what I saw them doing was just sort of touring things. Like there's an incredible collection at the Hagen.
Yeah, the J.C. Leyendecker collection. Yeah. And then there's the all like the Beard Stats and the Keats that are from like the, you know, Hudson River, American art movements kind of thing.
If you dig on our blog, we do have a list of cool things to go see in Stockton if you do head over there. And I'm speaking primarily to people in the Bay Area. You should go out for this.
Yeah, so our event is October the 13th from 3 to 7 p.m., which is a Saturday. And we're going to have some live music, people vending their wares, their zines, their creative content. Yeah, we're just going to be out there doing it. You should come out. It's great. So the address for where we're going to be at is 720 East Weber Avenue in Stockton, California, which is the parking lot of our friend's furniture studio who actually moved out here to Stockton, California from San Francisco.
That's how our events work. It's like, do you have a space?
Get a friend of a friend. Yeah. And then you can find our content on placeholdermag.com.
For more about Stockton's Zine Fest, happening Saturday, October 13th, 2018, head to placeholdermag.com.
And the water strength of radiation leaking from the plant by the hill, by the pond, by the sea. And the fish all up and died, with me not far behind. And I'll swim no more in the sea. This is Janice Ian. I've been a friend of the Earth for years, and you can be one too. We need you.
They had some really crappy planes that were not suitable for passenger carriers. They were good cargo planes, or they were good military planes, but they weren't good passenger planes. So the Russians wanted to buy up a bunch of L-1011s. And the U.S. government said no. Because of the Cold War, they said, using the guise of, there's secret technology on these planes, we can't let the Russians get it. They canceled, they wouldn't let the Russians buy their planes. So the government also helped Lockheed lose a fortune on the L-1011. Because the Russians were going to buy a ton of them. Instead, the Russians built a really crappy plane that was very problematic, and they scrapped it and then ended up buying the Airbus, like everybody else.
How hard do you think it would be to take a bath bomb onto a plane?
Hello friends, this is Jamie Summers, known of Orange Lounge Radio, which you can listen to at vognetwork.com on Sundays. I'm here to talk about a rather interesting phenomenon. It's something that has existed for quite some time, and it is perpetrated by typically cisgender men. It's called manspreading. And in this particular event, a man will take a seat and his legs will naturally spread open, presumably to make room for his genitalia. Well, the issue with this is that for other people who are sitting next to the manspreader, they may find a knee encroaching on their personal space, or even more, that the legs could make it further out into an aisleway, which then encroaches on the space of people walking by, or may remove room from the walkway for any seats that are, facing toward the aisle, or for anyone who is sitting on the aisle side. It is inconvenient. Honestly, I find it quite rude. And it's really unfair, especially since, women for most of our lives have been told to sit with your knees together, to sit ladylike, to not take up a lot of room, to not draw attention to yourself. And, well, if we have to sit like that, why shouldn't men have to? And I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that your balls need room. No. But there is one woman out there who has taken her activism against manspreading to a different level. There is a law student in St. Petersburg in Russia. Her name is, let me get her name. Her name is Anna Dovgalyuk. I have probably mispronounced that. She is 20 years old, and she is trying to stop what she calls a disgusting act by splashing a mixture of 30 liters of water and 6 liters of bleach into the groin areas of men that she deems to be sitting in an offensive manner. Her quote is, "The solution is 30 times more concentrated than the mixture used by housewives when doing the laundry. It eats colors in the fabric in a matter of minutes, leaving indelible stains." Now, this also could, and I'll be honest, cause some damage to the skin underneath that stained area. But then again, the whole point here is that it will ruin the clothes of whichever person she has targeted. Now, I have some very mixed thoughts about this. Number one, I don't believe in going around and, damaging the property and possibly the persons, out there of those who may be the offender. That being said, there is something to be said for making an example of those who have no consideration for other people by sitting in this fashion. A couple of the people from the images that I found online, one of the fellows was asleep in the chair with his butt on the very edge of the chair and his feet sitting firmly in the middle of the aisle. Another man was reading a paper with his knees all the way over to the seat of another woman who was sitting there looking really annoyed. I mean, I would be annoyed. I probably would have kneed the guy if it were me. So I definitely agree, yes, we should draw attention to this. It's something that I think should be pointed out, but there are better ways of doing it. I'm all about public embarrassment. I'd be like, excuse me, would you mind closing your legs? To whoever is sitting next to me doing this. Or, again, I have been known to bang my knee really hard up against the knee of an offensive manspreader. That being said, again, yeah, I see her point. Yeah, it's an interesting idea the way she wants to tackle it. But I don't necessarily believe it's the right way to do it. Now, that being said, men, for God's sake, close your legs. You can sit comfortably with your, goodies all tucked away where they should be and not have to bang your knees into the personal spaces of the people next to you or take up more room in the aisle than you have to. Be a little bit more considerate and certainly be cognizant of the space that you're taking up. That's all we ask. It's a very, very simple request. Do it for the children.
This is Radio FLoMM.
A crisp autumn morning at Langley Air Force Base, where there seems to be no sign of life except for a black limousine speeding over the deserted runways. And in the back seat sits a grim General Hickman, the commanding officer of Langley.
I'm sorry, Fritz, but I can no longer use you. We become automated.
But Mr. Denser, I'm a master craftsman. You have said that I am the best toy maker in the world. Why, no one can turn out the quality of work that I do.
That's true, Fritz, but you take too long. I need quantity, not quality. I have inventories to fill, profit margins to maintain. This is a business, Fritz.
But my new invention's a duplicator. You said it would help things along.
I'm sorry, Fritz, but our tests were conclusive. The duplicator cannot produce a high-quality real toy.
You said you were not interested in quality.
Well, what I meant was...
For him,
give me my machine.
It's worthless, I tell you.
Then give it back.
No.
Return my invention, I'll kill you.
Get away from the old man.
Mobile phone. The age of the jet.
And all of us in the Twin City area, welcome.
I've got a strange one here. I'm not sure what to make of it. The local
heavy artillery being put a dent in.
News, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well, my name's G. Allison Weatherspoon.
I don't recognize the name. Not too many people know of him. He immigrated to the United States before the Second World War. He was a specialist in molecular structure. What was he doing in the attic? We don't know, Steve. Is he out of work? Did he suffer from exposure? It gets rather cold this time of year. All the indicators point to foul play, Steve.
Researching iron propulsion on setback for months, maybe even years. Giving our adversary across the sea the jump they'll need to finish their system first.
Officially, he had dropped out of sight.
Announcing it today.
Elsewhere on the
You
base.
understand?
Well, yes. Happy birthday, Weatherspoon.
A shimmering shape suddenly appears out of thin air. A shape that takes on human form, finally crystallizing into focus, revealing itself to be none other than...
Jack Benny talking, and Don, for your information, I wasn't upset at all. I enjoyed the game very much.
It is 1976.
It appears my teleportational coordinates were accurate. I recognize the landmarks of Langley Airfield from all the visual research tapes I've studied. It's just as archaic as I imagined.
So in order to get 2 tickets, I called Governor Warren.
Of all the people.
Yes. Quite right.
You must understand, Witherspoon, there are evil-minded persons in the world who will try to control your inventions for their own selfish ends. And narrow-minded persons as well, who know only their own way of doing things and are afraid to try new ways, no matter how much better they might be.
There is a curiosity in us all.
Change is always frightening, but it is growth. Why? Why, oh why must power always corrupt?
You think you can handle Mr. Yardline, but I also got a sure thing in the 4th rate.
Vehicular unit equipped with elementary explosive armaments.
Say, Don,
Can you handle it? A sense of justice and fair play.
John, how could you possibly sit on both sides of the...
He's just the person I need right now. A man with nothing to gain and nothing to lose. A man who's proved himself to be on the side of humanity.
I think that's a very good idea, Dr. Witherspoon.
Today I received my inheritance from my father, and it includes a paper which was to be entrusted to me on my 21st birthday.
But without warning, the super tank pivots and halts, while its momentum hurls its unwanted passenger to the ground. Mercilessly, the enemy turns and accelerates forward toward the sprawled fallen figure. But before the tank can do just that, its potential victim suddenly springs to life and dashes around to the side of the killing machine, slamming his body up against it like a human battering ram, pushing until...
Believe it if I didn't see. Every crew member assigned for weeks ahead. Steps which plane will be in Tokyo on the 15th? Into a bright new age.
From Sacramento, the heart of California, and around the world. This has been Radio FLoMM, recorded live before a studio. Contributors this week in order were
Milk Surface, Chad Undry, Jeannie MEHALLO, Steve MEHALLO, CARLO CYPHERS of E.F.R.T, DEVON PARKS-CLOUTIER, LYNN TOBIN, ARTURO ROMERO, JENI SOTO, Mars, Ruby Roth of Draw or Die, CRUZ, Brian Mendez of E.F.R.T, Chelsea Davis and Moon, Rikki Morehouse, Dominic Del Signore, Chester Pears, Sophie Travers, Darius Forrest, Lama Circuit, Garrett Compton Daniels, Jamie Summers of Orange Lounge Radio, and Hunter Van Bark.
Also featured were
Jason Spires, Cliff Allen, and Audrey Daggett.
And we wholeheartedly apologize to
Roy DeForest for when last week referred to him as Monkey Boy. We meant to call him Monkey Face. CRUZ was uncredited in last week's episode. Also, we apparently featured a puppy killer without knowing it.
We promise sincerely never, ever to do that again. Radio FLoMM is produced by
Steve MEHALLO, Devon PARKS-CLOUTIER, and Milk Surface as himself.
Theme music by Chelsea Davis. Sound design and engineering by Steve MEHALLO. Radio FLoMM is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 international license. However, recordings of contributors or guests of Radio FLoMM are still protected under international copyright law. Radio FLoMM contains features for review, opinion, critique, and or artistic transformation, and may contain adult content and nudity. Want to be featured on Radio FLoMM? Drop us a note at www.flomm.us/contact. FLoMM is a modern art game app, art history resource, faux historical art movement that uses new media to generate interest in art history and education. FLoMM is an online connection, art, history, music, and beyond through Tumblr, Instagram, and other social medias. We are all FLoMmists. You can be too. Donations graciously accepted at patreon.com/FLoMMus. We are at FLoMMus on most social medias. FLoMM is sometimes explained, but usually not. This is Cliff Allen saying thank you for listening, and if you've enjoyed this podcast, do something about it.
Did you know that the stars are gay?